thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master, Asmadeva Paramaradha Tamagupad Varma, Nitya Leela Pravishnu Om Vishnupad, Ashto Tarasudasi Samad, Rupanugacharya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami. Secondly, after my pranam, thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Brahma. And then after my pranam to the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So, we are discussing Bhagavad-Gita. So, each chapter of Bhagavad-Gita has the title of one type of yoga. Which chapter is entitled Bhakti Yoga? Six. First is Karma Yoga. 6 is Dhyana Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is described in chapter 6. So chapter 12. So in chapter 12, Arjun, in the first verse, he says, Arjun Uvacha Evam Sadata Yuktaji Bhaktastvam Parupasati Ye Chapyaksharamapyaktam Teshinke Yoga Vittamaha. According to your earlier instructions, there are bhaktas, devotees. They are endowed with nishtha and they continuously engage in bhajan, parupasate, to you, in your Sham Sundar form. But there are also those, aksharam abhyaktam, those who worship the unmanifest, the nirvishesh, the qualityless, impersonal feature of Brahman. So, Tesham ke yoga vittama, of these, who is the best type of yogi? So, Sri Krishna replies, Maya Vasyamano Yemam Nikta Yukta Upasate Sadhya Paryopetas Tame Yuktatamo Mata. Sri Bhagavan said, those yogis who with transcendental faith, Shraddha, they fix their mind on my form of Shyam Sundar and constantly worship me with Ananya Bhakti. They are the best of those who know yoga. This is my opinion. Ye taksharamani desyam avyaktam parupasate sarvattagam achintyancha kutastam achaladruvam. But those who worship my indescribable, unmanifest, all-pervading, inconceivable, immutable, eternal, and featureless Brahma Swarup, while controlling their senses, maintaining equal vision everywhere, and engaging in activities for the welfare of all beings, so they also attain me alone. So, here, those who impose this with the God. So both paths lead to the same place. Krishna is saying that those who do bhakti, they are the best. There's no doubt about it. But those who are following the path for the realization of Nirvishesh Brahma, Krishna says they also attain me. However, when Krishna said they attain me, it does not mean they attain him in his personal swarup. It means that Brahman is not different from him. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti koti susesh vasudari vibhuti vinam yad brahma niskala varantam ashesha bhutam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. The Nirvishesh Nirgun Brahman, which resides beyond time, beyond the fluctuations of the three gunas of this world. This is only Prabha, the aura, the semblance of the aura emanating from the tip of the toe of Krishna. Very insignificant in comparison to his Swarup. So, Srila Vishwanath Thakur said, the phrase Mam Eva means they attain me alone, and in other words, means that there is no difference between that, the Aksha Brahma, and me. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, some persons think, why would the worship of Brahma not be superior, since it is full of difficulty and perfected over a long period of time? So the realization of Brahman by the impersonal meditation takes a very long time and it's extremely difficult, and therefore it must be higher. So such persons thinking in this way, they consider that of the two types of Brahma, Sagun and Nirgun, the Nirakar Brahma with no form and qualities, is the original and superior Tattva. They think that common people are unable to perform the worship of Nirgun Brahma because it is troublesome, and so they do bhakti because bhakti is easy and gives result very quickly. The worship of the Sagun, Sakar, having qualities and having form, personal Brahma, is easily performed, since anyone can do it. But it is necessary to understand that this idea is false. Krishna alone is the original Tattva, and Brahma Tattva is dependent upon him. So here, the word Akshara, which means the unchanging, undiminishing, eternal. Here the word Akshara does not refer to Parabrahma, the Supreme Person, Parabrahma, has been clearly described as different and superior to that Brahma which is Akshara and Kutasto. Why? Because in chapter 15, Shri Krishna said, there are two entities, Kshara and Akshara, the fallible and the infallible. So the fallible are the jivas. The Akshara is the infallible, impersonal Brahman. And he said, but superior to both Kshara and Akshara is Purushottama, the Supreme Personality. And I am famous throughout all the Vedas as that Purushottama. So, even though it is stated that the jiva attains the stage of Brahma, it is not stated anywhere in the Shastra that the jiva attains the state of Parabrahma. Krishna alone is Param Brahma. One should always keep in mind that the attributes of Bhagavan described in Shastra, such as Sagun, Sakar and Savishesh, are transcendental and fully conscious. Therefore, Bhagavan is simultaneously both Sagun and Nirgun. Sagun and Nirgun are not two separate tattvas, but two aspects of the same tattva. So Krishna is Sagun with qualities and Nirgun without qualities. He is Aprakrita Gun with divine transcendental qualities. And he is Nir Prakrita Gun without any material mundane qualities. So he is both Sagun and Nirgun. So now, Sri Krishna describes Klesho dikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukam deha vadvir avapyate. Those whose minds are attached to Nirvishesh Brahma experience great difficulty, for it is troublesome for the embodied jivas to attain steadiness in meditation on that which is unmanifest. So Srila Vishnu Thakur in his commentary, he is describing how Sanat Kumar gave instructions to Prithu Maharaj, saying the same thing as Krishna is saying here in the Gita. Yat pada palava pilasa vilasa bhaktya kamashayam udgatayanti shanta tadvan narikta matayo yatayo pirudham sota ganastamaranam bhajabasudevam. He said, oh, those who meditate and constantly serve the petals, the petal-like toes of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, very easily they can pierce the knot of false ego in the heart. But those who meditate on impersonal Brahman, even though they try with great force, they cannot stop the flow of material activities coming into their mind again and again, and they end up leaving their sadhana and meditation and again becoming involved in the world. So Krishna said, but to those loving bhaktas who perform all their actions with the goal of attaining me, and who absorb themselves exclusively in the meditation upon me, I swiftly deliver them from the ocean of birth and death. So Krishna said, Mayeva mana agatsva mai buddhim nivesaya Nivasisyasi Mayeva Ata Udvam Nasamshaya. Therefore, O Arjuna, fix your mind exclusively. Fix your mind exclusively on my Sham Sundar form and engage your intelligence fully in me. Thus, upon leaving your body, you will certainly come and reside with me. Of this there is no doubt. This is a very good promise. Just fix your mind on the form of Krishna and meditate upon him continuously. And then at the end of this life, instead of taking birth again in Moscow or New York or Zurich or Bombay or anywhere, you can be in Goloka Vrndavan. Krishna said, Oh Dhananjay, if you are unable to fix your mind steadily on me, then try to seek me by Abhyas Yoga. The practice of fixing the mind on me while constantly restraining it from worldly affairs. So, abhyas means practice, sadhana, try again and again. Because first Krishna said, fix your mind exclusively on my Sham Sundar form. Who can do it? Those in whose heart bhakti has already appeared, naturally the form of Krishna is awakening in the heart moment by moment. Premanjanachrit bhakti vilochanena santak sadeva rijayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundastra achintya gunasarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Those whose eyes have been smeared with the salve of love, and in their heart every moment the very astonishing and attractive form of Sri Krishna is manifest. So, Krishna is saying, if you cannot spontaneously remember me at every moment, then anyway try, again and again. This is a sadhana. On the one hand, Krishna said, fix your mind on me, and at the same time, constantly restrain your mind from becoming involved in worldly activities and worldly thoughts. Then Krishna said, Abhyase kyasamartosi mat karma paramo bhava madatam api karmani kurvam siddhim avapsasi. If you are unable to engage in the Abhyas Yoga, constant sadhana, then just devote yourself to act for me alone. And by performing activities such as Shravan and Kirtanam for my pleasure, you will certainly attain perfection. So here Krishna is saying, Krishna is smiling and telling Arjuna, okay, if you cannot do the first one, if you cannot do the second one, I am giving you a third option. And smiling he said, even if you are unable to be absorbed and try again and again to render manasik seva to me, then perform activities which are favorable for bhakti, such as going to the temple, constructing a temple, maintaining or cleaning the temple, making a flower garden, taking care of tulsi. Do all of these things. And be under the guidance of a pure Vaishnava. Hear and chant under their guidance. Gradually you will be able to develop the ability to do manasik seva and go into the stage of dhruva anusmriti, continuous remembrance. So then Krishna said, Ataita dapya sakto si kartam madhyogamasvita. If however you cannot do this, then you try to approach bhakti yoga by giving up the fruits of all your actions and offer them to me. Sri Vishnu Thakur is saying, Bhakti Yoga is of two types. Number one, the actions of the internal senses, the chitta, the mind, buddhi, all serving Krishna. And secondly, the activities of the external senses. Now, the first type of Bhakti Yoga, which is activities of the internal senses, that's also divided into three categories. Smaran, remembrance. Manan, contemplation. And three, abhyas. So, abhyas is the practice of those who are unable to engage in constant remembrance, but they're attached to attaining the stage of constant remembrance. So, these three practices are indeed very, very difficult for those who are less intelligent. But they're easy for those who are free from offenses and devoted to pure intelligence. So the internal services, manasik seva, this is very difficult for the ordinary person. They cannot do it because their chitta is too contaminated. So for them, they should chant loudly and try to become completely absorbed in the sound of Sri Krishna's name. It will destroy all contamination and naturally, automatically, just like the other day we mentioned, Durvasa Rishi, he gave a mantra to Kunti Devi before she was married. And by this mantra she could call any demigod. So she thought, what is this? Will it work or not? She remembered the mantra and there Surya Dev came. So if someone will very carefully avoid 10 offenses to the holy name and chant not less than 1 lakh, then you will see after a short time, then Krishna will come. Otherwise, if the consciousness of citta is not pure, one has no realization of the form of Krishna. Then, manasik seva, raganuga bhakti, or imagination, and quite impossible. Those who are not chanting 1 lakh Harinam every day, they are not even following Vaidhi Bhakti. So they should not speculate that they are doing Raganuga Bhakti because they are not doing any Bhakti. They are not following even Vaidhi Bhakti. They are like the children, not children, like an embryo. They are still in the womb. They have not even been born yet in their spiritual life. What to speak of being the immature or in childhood, even they are not born. So, now, Srila Vishnu Thakur said, after speaking about the internal practice of bhakti, he said, the second type of bhakti yoga, which engages the activities of the external senses, in hearing, chanting and so on, is an easy means for everyone. So those who are engaged in either of these two types of bhakti yoga are superior to everyone else. Now, those who are unable to perform either the internal and external or just the external aspect of bhakti yoga, and who cannot worship Bhagavan faithfully by controlling their senses and mind, so they are qualified to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga offered to Bhagavan as described in the first 6 chapters, and they are inferior to the above 2 types of bhakti yogis. So then, Sri Krishna said, better than abhyas is the knowledge which gives rise to the contemplation on me. And superior to that knowledge is the meditation in which I am constantly remembered. By this one becomes free from any desires to enjoy in this world or in heaven, or even the desire to attain liberation, and thus he attains peace of mind. Now Sri Krishna will begin to describe the qualities of the devotees. My bhakta is non-envious. This is the first quality said. Advashta sarvabhutanam. He has no enmity towards anyone. We were discussing previously that of the 6 enemies of the living entity, Kam, lust, Krodh, anger, love, greed, Moha, bewilderment, Mada, pride, and Matsarya, envy. If envy is there, because it's the mature stage of the others, when Kam, desire becomes more intense, becomes Krodh. When it becomes more intense, becomes love, like this. So if Matsarya is present, then all the bad qualities are present. Even though externally one may be behaving in a very good way, it seems, but if there's enmity towards another living entity, then all the other bad qualities are there, they're just momentarily hiding. So, only those who are free from envy to others can do bhakti and understand Krishna. Paramoni matsaranam satam vedam vastavam attarvastu shivadam tapatayon mulanam. The absolute truth is only understood by those who are free from enmity towards others. That means towards everyone. There cannot be any ill feeling in the heart towards any living entity, so-called good and so-called bad. Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Abhimana Sunya Nita Nagari Vedai. Srila Lotenda Thakur is saying, Srila Nityananda Prabhu used to wander around the town. How? Abhimana Sunya Nita Nagari Vedai. With no Abhiman. He has no pride at all. And Akroda Paramananda. He has no anger. And he is in Paramananda, the greatest bliss. So, when Jagai became angry with Nityananda Prabhu, he took a clay pot of wine and smashed it on his head. And Nityananda Prabhu fell to the ground and covered in blood. Everyone thought that Jagai had killed him. That Madai had killed him. But after a few moments, Nityananda Prabhu opened his eyes and he saw Madai and said, "Oh brother, please chant the names of Krishna." He was not angry. What to speak of having no enmity in his heart. Even someone who became his enemy and came to beat him, perhaps kill him even, he has no enmity towards them. The news spread, "Oh, Nityananda Prabhu, someone has beaten him, he's bleeding." And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quickly came there with his chakra to kill Jagai and Madai. But Nityananda Prabhu prayed, "Oh my Lord, in this incarnation, you have not come to kill any demons. You have only come to kill their demonic tendency, their demonic attitude. So please, you should spare him." What's more, this Jagai, when Madai was going to hit Nityananda Prabhu again, Madai stopped and said, "Oh, leave him alone. He's just a fenceless person." So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that Jagai had tried to stop Madai, this was a service to Nityananda Prabhu. Then he thought, "Oh, Jagai, you helped my Nityananda." And he came and he embraced Jagai. It's very important to understand that Bhagavan is not against demons. God is not partial to the demigods over the demons. Rather, the demons automatically, by being in the shelter of Rajagun always turns to Tamagun and then they're destroyed. So, Supreme Lord, He never sees difference between the good and bad worldly qualities. But He has partiality towards His devotee. So He came to kill Jagai and Madai, not because they were bad. They'd done so many things. They'd done thousands and thousands of bad things. Mahaprabhu never came to punish them with the chakra. He came on this day, why? Because of love for Nityananda Prabhu. It was expression of his love for Nityananda Prabhu, why he was going to finish them. So, but Nityananda Prabhu, he never saw any good or bad. Only he sees, here is a soul who is lost and in ignorance. And he wants the benefit of that person. So he prayed to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu, appreciating the service of Jagai, embraced him. And then by the touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagai began to weep and tremble and cry, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Then Madai, he saw that his brother had completely transformed by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was weeping in love of God. He said, oh dear, please give Prem to me also. Why only give Prem to him and not to me? All our sinful activities we did together. We drank alcohol together, we ate meat together, we beat people up together, we robbed people's houses and set them on fire. We did everything together. So also give Prem to me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, never. Because you have injured my Nityananda Prabhu. So you have to surrender to him. So then Madai surrendered at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, and then Mahaprabhu also gave him Prem, Nityananda Prabhu also gave him. Then, now both became pure devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to everyone, now they are devotees. So no one should bring up their past activities. And if anyone will criticize them for their past activities, then this will be great offense. So Mahaprabhu said, give me your path. Take one tulsi leaf and put it in my hand, and I will take all the reactions of your crimes. And you should promise that you will never do any wrong things again. So then Jagai and Madai, they took a tulsi leaf and put it in the hand of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu accepted it. And when he received this, he became black. Actually, he cannot be touched by any papa or any sins. But he is doing a pastime only to show the world how Mahaprabhu can take away the reaction of all living entities. But really, his internal purpose was to give darshan to Advaitacharya of his Ishtadev Madan Gopal. Because Mahaprabhu is Krishna. But now he became black. Gaurasundar became Shyam Sundar. Advaitacharya said he could not believe his eyes. He was seeing his Ishtadev Madan Gopal in front of him. So then Mahaprabhu told the devotees, do loud Nam Sankirtan. And then all the sins of Jagai and Madai, they will leave me. And they will, all the sins of Jagai and Madai will leave me and enter into that person who criticizes my devotee. So then all the devotees did kirtan, and then Shyam Sundar again became Gaurasundar. So don't think that it's a very simple thing, like to make some criticism of a devotee. No, all the sins of Jagai and Madai are flying in the air, looking for that person who criticizes his devotee, enters into. So here we see that Nityananda Prabhu, he is Advaita. He has no enmity towards anyone at all. Our heart becomes dark and unsteady due to attraction and aversion. If you are attracted to anyone, then you will also be averse to anyone. Because this raga and dvesha coming from Rajagun. If raga attachment is there, then dvesha will also be there. If dvesha is there, also attachment will be there. So, we pray to Nityananda Prabhu to sprinkle His mercy, that we can follow His mood of only wishing for the very, very best for all living entities in the whole world. Everyone. All the evil people who are doing evil right now. What do you think about that? Oh, Krishna Mati Rastu. May they awaken their consciousness of Krishna and be happy forever. If you go out carrying the order of Mahaprabhu to preach, to meet people, to give them books and tell them about bhakti, then gradually, by the seva of prachar, service to Nityananda Prabhu, such a feeling can come. Then bhakti can appear. So Krishna said, my devotee is non-envious. He is compassionate, karuna, maita karuna evacha, and friendly to all living beings. He is nirmamone rahankara, free from feelings of possessiveness and devoid of false ego. He is even-minded, savadukas sukakshami. He is even-minded in happiness and distress. Shami. He is always forgiving. Always forgives everyone. And even before they have done anything, He is forgiving. Srila Prabhupada said, this world is full of the embarrassing and irritable situations, irritating situations. And one has to be completely forgiving in all irritating and embarrassing situations. Otherwise, one would develop a vindictive mentality. And then, this is against the softness and sweetness of devotion. So, who is forgiving, who is santushta, always satisfied. Satatam yogi, endowed with bhakti yoga. Yatatmana dira nishtaya, who has control of his senses, who is resolutely determined and dedicated to me by mind, body and intelligence. Yo mad bhakta samay priya. Krishna said, that person is very dear to me. So in this suite of verses, Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, and through Arjuna the world, who is dear to him. Until the devotee comes in the stage of asakti, Krishna is there watching everything the devotee does, but in a dispassionate mood. But when the stage of asakti comes, and the devotee cries to Krishna, Hanat Gokula Sudakara Suprasanna Bhaktaravinda Madhurasmita He Kripada Yattataya Viharate Pranaya Priyara Tattaiva Mamapi Naya Priya Sevanaya. Hey Gokul Chandra, moon of Gokul, how not my life and soul. Bhaktara Vrinda Madhura Asmita, your lotus face has a very gentle smile. Hey Kripadra, and you are melting always in compassion. Please take me by the hand and bring me to that place where you will enjoy pastimes with your beloved Radhika. When the devotee in the stage of asakti offers such prayers to Krishna, the devotee's heart is melting. And when Krishna hears those prayers, Krishna's heart also melts. And he becomes anxious, he becomes in anxiety to meet with that devotee and to pacify the feelings of separation of that devotee. So here Krishna is describing the qualities of such a devotee and saying, Arjuna, that person is very dear to me. The bhakta who neither disturbs anyone nor is himself disturbed by anyone else, who is free from mundane happiness, intolerance, fear and anxiety, that devotee is certainly very, very dear to me. Anapeksha suchi daksha udasina gatavyata savaramba prityagi yomad bhakta sune priya. That bhakta, that devotee of mine, who is indifferent to all mundane activities, who is internally and externally pure, who is expert, who is indifferent to the world, aloof, whose mind is free from any agitation, and who carefully avoids any activity which is unfavorable for devotional service. He is dear to me. Yona Rishati Nadesti, that person who does not delight in mundane pleasure and does not despair in worldly sorrow, who does not lament for any loss or hanker for any gain, who gives up both dharma and adharma, pious and impious activities, and who serves me with devotion, indeed is very dear to me. So, very interesting. Here Krishna says, Savaramba Pratyagi, the devotee gives up all aramba. Aramba means initiating some project. Beginning some project. So give it up. So, here Srila Gurudev explained, carefully avoiding any activity unfavorable for bhakti. So sometimes we see that the devotees, pure devotees, they make some project to build a temple or whatever. But they are giving opportunity for conditioned souls to be engaged. And they're doing for the benefit of the world, because their hearts are free from pride. Otherwise, if someone's heart is impure, any activity, project they are doing, it is for their own glorification only. And it is a karma, not a bhakti at all. So Srila Vishnu Thakur in his commentary, he said, if spiritual endeavors, even spiritual endeavors, become unfavorable for bhakti, such as what? Teaching Shastra. If a devotee is doing Nam Bhajan and teaching Shastra many hours every day, then if he needs to be absorbed more and more in Nam Bhajan, then he can also give up teaching Shastra or reduce or whatever. So here, Srila Vishnu Chaitanya for Sarva Ramba Prityagi is not only talking about material activities, but also, in other words, the activities, the spiritual activities which were suitable for a devotee in a lower adhikar, when they come to a higher adhikar, then they leave even those favorable activities because they become unfavorable in accordance with that devotee's adhikar. Like we see, my Gurudev, after his Gurudev left this world, he was staying in Mathura because he had been given service to perform there. So he would give class every day and do very intense Nam Bhajan for years and years, many years. Only after he was more than 70, almost 80 years old, then he started to initiate many disciples. We see, tomorrow is the disappearance festival of Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Maharaj. So there will be a big festival at Gopal Mandir in Gopinath Bazaar. Gopinath Mandir in Gopinath Bazaar. So when his Gurudev left this world, he came to Brajamandal and he wandered here and there like a beggar, chanting Harinam continuously for 20 years. Then when he was about 90 years old, then he started initiating many. Gurudev was also initiating a couple, one or two, from about 1971, 72. One or two, but not very broadly. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshat Sridhar Maharaj, when his Gurudev left this world, he went to Ekachakra and chanted 3 lakhs Harinam every day for 10 years in the village of Nityanandu, crying Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. Then after that he made his mission. So those who are not mature in their sadhana, they should not try to imitate the great acharyas, because those acharyas, what they have done, they have attained their siddhi, and afterwards they have done this. And if one would imitate those acharyas who have attained their siddhi, then you cannot attain your siddhi. Because even though the activities seem to be devotional activities, but they will be unfavorable for progress. So, Krishna here is saying, those who do not delight in mundane pleasure nor despair in worldly sorrows. Vishnu Thakur again, he ties this in with spiritual activities, because the so-called practice of bhakti done in an unregulated way without any guidance of advanced devotees, the activities of bhakti can be an excuse to actually not do pure bhakti. Here is saying, those devotees who do not become overwhelmed with joy when they get a good disciple, he's saying, that's the example of one who the devotee doesn't become happy when there's a cause for happiness, or does not feel dejected if they have a bad disciple. Then Krishna said, that devotee is very dear to me. Beat them. Samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha mana pumanayo shitushna sukudukeshu samasanga vivarjita. Being blessed with my bhakti, he who looks equally upon friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, in heat and cold, in praise and criticism, who is free from unfavorable association, who practices silence by controlling his speech, and who remains satisfied by whatever comes to him, who is not attached to his place of residence, and whose intelligence is firmly fixed in me. Such a devotee is naturally very, very dear to me. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the devotees, they do not feel unhappy when criticized or happy when glorified, and they do not speak anything except for Harikatha. They are free from unfavorable association. Two types of unfavorable association: Mayavad Sangha and Stri Sangha. Mayavad Sangha means associating with those who do not believe in the personality of Godhead. Associating with them in any way, having friendship with them, eating food with them, and so on. This is unfavorable, very unfavorable for bhakti. And the other type of asatsang is Stri Sangha. That means for men associating with women, and for women associating with men. Not according to Dharma. One is married, then in an appropriate way. This is not called Stri Sangha. So, Shastra said, Matra swasa duhitrava navivektasano bhavet. Bhavanam indriyagramo vidvansam apikarshati. Srimad Bhagavatam said, a man should not sit alone in the same place with his mother, with his sister, or with his daughter. Why? Because the senses are so powerful. They can take away the intelligence even of Vidwan, a very learned person. So this is a warning against Stri Sangha, and it goes both ways, for men to women and women to men. Both. In Sanskrit, the word woman, there are three words. Stri. Stri means who expands. Who expands the field of mature activities. By nature, generally men are lazy. But they work very hard making houses and cars and many, many things. Why? Only to impress me. Then children come and they have to do so many things also for the children. So who expands the field of mature activity is called Stri. Then another is Pramadda. Pramadda means woman in Sanskrit. But it means also inattentiveness, the inability to concentrate the mind. It's called Pramadda. You know? Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Pramada. Among 10 offenses to the holy name, Api Pramada, of inattentiveness. So here, I'm not telling anything against ladies. Every jiva is same. But by wrong association, then man becomes pramada, inattentive by associating with woman, and for a woman, then woman becomes pramada by associating inappropriately with a man. Both become pramada, inattentive. Then, next one is yoshit. The word yoshit in Sanskrit means woman. So yoshit means that person upon seeing whom mature desires awaken in the heart. Even you did not have, but only by association they will appear by themselves. Someone will tell, oh, this is very bad. I don't want to hear this katha. This is like the Taliban. Against ladies or anything. No, not at all. You know the Taliban, they say? Extreme Muslim fundamentalists. We're not saying like this. What is the harm? Everyone is okay. People should be more relaxed, everyone embrace each other. No. The Vyasadeva is telling, don't sit on the same seat with your mother, your daughter or your sister. Why? Yes, you have no bad intention. You have not any wrong ideas. This is very low class to even any such thought. So naturally when a cultured person hears it, they'll think, God, this is extreme. No, you should understand that in this body there are the nadis. Sushumna nadi is the main energy channel in the body, and chakras are there. But in the female body and male body, the polarity of the chakras is opposite. So when they come close together, automatically they start to be attracted. It does not matter. You have no bad intention, you never think anything wrong, but only by proximity, then the attraction for the external consciousness, the affinity to the external world, the bahirmukata, that means the tendency to look out rather than antarmukata, to be introspective. This is all instigated and awakened. Anyone cannot stop it. Anyone cannot check it. So Srimad Krishna told Uddhav, it is like a butter and a fire. Butter has no desire for the fire. Butter has no ambition. But put butter by the fire, butter melts. Every time. So similarly, in the same way, if male will come close to female and vice versa, then melting comes. That means a chitta vikar. If not to that person, it's your mother, your sister, your daughter. Okay. So not to that person. But that external consciousness is becoming intensified and one spiritual life is becoming weakened. Then you meet another person. Then any fall down or problem may come. But it started here and ended over there. Understand? This is why Vyasadeva is telling Matra swasa duhitrava. Yes, you will not have relation with your sister, we know. But your weakness will start there and it will end somewhere else. This is why Vyasadeva is saying. So, if you cannot concentrate when you are chanting, then know you are doing asatsang. Asatsang by Krishna Naam nahi aaye. And try to fix this problem. Try to be in good association. So, Krishna said here, that person who is free from unfavorable association, he is very, very dear to me. Yetu dharmam ritam nidam yatoktum parupasate sadadhana mat parama bhaktasteti vame priya. Certainly those devotees who engage in the dharmamrita, the nectarian dharma, the amrita, the dharma of amrita, that is immortal, the immortal dharma of loving service. With shraddha, with firm faith, pariyupasate, always absorbed in serving me, mat paramo, absorbed in me, they are exceedingly dear to me. So this is chapter 12 of Gita, entitled Bhakti Yoga, wherein Krishna describes, first his compassion is there. First he said, totally absorb your mind in me. Then he said, if you cannot do that, then you do sadhana bhakti. If you cannot do sadhana bhakti, then anyway you work and offer all your work for me, like this. So Krishna is giving a chance to everyone. Whatever you can do, start there, and gradually your adhikar will increase. So he speaks about the devotees who are developing their adhikar, and then in the end he glorifies the devotees who are mature in their bhakti. What are their qualities? Why is the devotee satisfied with whatever happens? Why is the devotee free from being disturbed by happiness and distress? Why does he see everyone equally? Why? Because devotee does not live in this world. Devotee is internally associating with Radha and Krishna in Goloka Vrndavan and serving them. So if you will come out of that eternal nectar and to the external consciousness, then whatever is happening, so what? Not relevant, not important at all. Because he has no stake in this world, nothing to win and nothing to lose in this world. Because his heart is already there with his Ishtadev at all times. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai, Gaur Prem.